Up in Yorkshire again in the rain. What I'm showing you here is some land that was ploughed, pressed, power harrowed, beaten in within an inch of its life to put ryegrass in. And what I want to show you is two things. One, the difference between ploughed, press and power harrow compared to just over there, minimum cultivation for 8 to 9 years and practicing conservation agriculture. But more importantly, the difference that the grass hasn't made, because it's all a ryegrass lay which only goes down 50 odd mil, so it won't have restructured the soil. But when you look at the penetrometer readings and how far the shovel goes in, and more importantly the ease with which the shovel goes in, that will tell you what's happening in the soil. So literally all we're talking about is where the shovel and penetrometer are now. Over there, same soil type, just in the fields, not on the wheelings or anything horrible like that. But get the penetrometer, if you can see the top, I'm just pushing it in, and I can't lean on it properly in one hand, but you can see that it's really struggling, and it's the same picture all over the field. Virtually can't get any depth in the soil. Just trying to push it in with one hand, I can't lean on it properly and show you the dial, but I'm struggling to get. So there's penetrometer going down to the bottom, any penetration at all. So where my thumb is where the soil went into, and where that line is, that's 4 inches to the tip there, so haven't even gone 2 inches in the soil. So that's telling you that getting a root into there is really struggling, and it hasn't opened it out at all. So if you now have a look and see where the penetrometer is, and if you can watch the shovel, just trying to show you that, you know, it's just really kicking it in. Well, if I'm kicking the shovel in that hard, fairly spookily, the roots of the next crop are just going to struggle just as much. And what's that? In old money, perhaps just there, 2-3 inches, so that's confirming what the penetrometer said. And if we now just walk over to the other parcel of land that looked after quite a few years practicing conservation agriculture on, so as you can see, we're just walking over what the headland is there, look, into this field, not going in particularly vast difference. You can probably see it's had a bit of muck spread on it already, which is always good. Got a bit of fold yard muck accessible just to keep things topped up so we don't have to put P and K on. We're just walking over the wheelings, and you can see where the dogs are just over there. That's where the new land is. And lean on the penetrometer. Oh, there it is. It's gone out of sight. Let's see if I can get you a indication of that. Sorry, not very professional, trying to need another pair of hands or a glamorous assistant. So you can see how far the penetrometer's gone in. Put my hand down to the bottom, pull that out, and you can see that from where my finger is, that's 3, 6, 9, and it's 4 inches at the bottom. So that's 13 inches before the penetrometer on exactly the same soil type has said there's any restriction from the soil on the new roots that are going to be in. If I can just show you that, because I just put that in the ground, I'm not even, oh, hit a stone there, but just not even leaning on it with one hand. I haven't even got the dial, just about up to the red zone, and you can see how far that we've gone in. Absolutely delightful, because that means the crop that goes in next is going to be accessing the nutrition. So just do the same thing with a shovel. Oh, there it is, look, one-handed, oh git, little bit of pressure, gone straight into the full spit of the spade. And just to remind you, let's just go over and see where the dogs are. So if you keep that mental picture, and we go into the new land, and that's two things it's highlighting. One, as I've known for years, ryegrass is rubbish at restructuring soil, so if you've got black grass you need to do something different. I'll tell you about that later. But so this is where the dogs are. If you can see the penetrometer over there, that's where I was just now, so relatively haven't got any distance at all. Just put the shovel in the ground, try and focus on it, and yeah, God, dearie me, you can't even get 3 or 4 inches in. So we've got to work really hard to get this right. We need a a good cunning plan that I'm just going to go and talk to the farmer about now. But the important messages to take away: plough, press, power harrow, even done 3 years ago. Yep, they've been travelling on this land because harvesting the ryegrass is silage, but ryegrass doesn't restructure soil. If you've beaten it up without any decent cocksfoot or timothy in there to restructure the soil, you're going to be stuck. And just to remind you, there's the dogs, there's the dividing line, there's where we've been working on before, that's where the penetrometer is. So exactly the same soil type, completely different strategy. Conservation agriculture where the penetrometer is. Save time, save money, and yeah, it's going to take quite a while to get this back into, or this field particularly, back into productivity, and I hope we're going to have it long enough that we can work a bit of magic on it before we get it right and give it back, and then it gets ploughed up back into grass again. You've got to think about what we're doing, folks. Conservation agriculture, agroecology, whatever you want to call it, it works, saves you time and money. We can't keep doing what received wisdom says we should do and just keep beating soil up.